let me break down how the Brooklyn Nets totally fumbled Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Because it's looking like it's inevitable that both of them leaving. And both of them came because they chose to come to the Brooklyn Nets. It's Mac the Guru if this is your first time here. They both went to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets got them just handed to them. Just, hey, we want to come here. Oh, okay, cool. The Nets had a team. That's why they went there. But the management did a horrible job. And it started with getting Steve Nash as the head coach. That was the worst thing they could have did. Because Steve Nash mentality, because of how he played, his playing style, and what he learned from his coach. Small ball, spread it out, get a bunch of threes up, run the floor. That don't work. Run a lot of high pick and roll. It does not work, man. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are both skilled enough to be in the actual offense. Not sit up and run high pick and roll. They're not Giannis. They're not LeBron. They're not Westbrook. That's what they need. They need spread it out, pick and roll, bunch of shooters around them. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are the shooters. They could work in small spaces like Jordan or Kobe. They don't need to spread it out with a bunch of shooters. You do that for dudes that's dominant athletically, but they got less skill. They need that, not them. But Steve Nash was taught by Mike D'Antoni, and it's what he was taught. And it won him 2 MVPs because the people that vote for MVPs don't know what to vote for. They just look at statistics and your standing. And guess what? If you run a lot of high pick and roll, you're going to get your stats. And if you got a good team around you, you have a nice standing. Equals MVP. That's how they do it. You don't even got to play defense. You don't have to play defense at all. Look at Steve Nash. But they bring Steve in. And instead of playing with the team that they got, that is the team. Remember, Brooklyn Nets had D'Angelo Russell and a great group of guys around him. Allen, just a bunch of dudes around them. They had a team. Take off D'Angelo Russell, insert Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. The first year Kevin Durant was hurt, like, oh, okay, well, they ain't going to do much this year. When he come back, it's a whole bunch of stuff with the vaccination and all that stuff, okay. But under no circumstances were you supposed to trade away your team. But because you got the coach that's thinking small ball, he like, oh, yeah, James Harden would be great. We have 3 stars. Kevin Durant and Kyrie should have never signed off on this. I don't know if they, in their mind, was thinking, James Harden really that good? But I got a bunch of videos where I always say, James Harden's not that good. He never was. He was putting up points because the league wanted another 2 guard to score a lot. So they allowed him to do the step back travel, and it is a travel. That's why when you go back through history and you look at the game, you don't see that throughout history. That just started happening. Then they let other players do it. It's a travel. They turned the step back into a travel, into a set shot. And then they put him on the line a lot of times. Okay, boom. People thinking he a star. Charles Barkley saying he's the greatest scorer ever. Not even close. The guy only going to shoot from 3-point or shoot a layup. And he fell completely off a cliff once he got out of Mike D'Antoni's system. I mean, instantly. Soon as he got out that system, fell off a cliff. Was never that man in Brooklyn. Was never that dude in Brooklyn. Then once he got hurt, he got even worse. Then he wanted to get off the team. So, yeah, let's let him off the team. Bring in Ben Simmons, another fragile player. When he go, put him in a box that say fragile. Mama's man-child. So, of course, he don't play. They playing with a lot of scrubs. This is why they lost to Boston. It's Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and I mean scrubs. Like, these dudes don't supposed to be in the league type scrubs. And then, on top of that, they playing a small lineup. You're like, yo, Kevin Durant is not a 4. He's not a 5. He is a small forward. That's what he is. Put him at small forward and watch him flourish. It ain't rocket science. It's just people don't do what need to be done. And they had a management team that let this thing fall apart, man. And if you ask anybody, when Brooklyn Nets was about to get Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, if they was going to let it fall apart, most people would have been like, no way. But somehow they fumbled this. And it came down to hiring that coach. And it came down to trading for James Harden.